exactly the way we wanted it. Marcus Lee gets a little payback. Pinder, not again. Absolutely. Webster must shoot. Does shoot. Ty Webster. Perth defeat Tasmania.
Well, it's do or die for the JackJumpers. The Perth Wildcats have come to town. Get Bryce Scott coming off. And there's the bounce pass again. Cotton off the screen. Bang. And a chance for Cotton for some second chance points. The Tassie JackJumpers have done it again. For the third consecutive season, they have defended the Islands, and they will force Game 3.
Tonight, only one season's campaign will continue. It is Perth and Tassie. Loose ball goes the way of the Wildcats, and it was never going to take long. Oh, Doyle got a big piece of that. It's Marcus Lee lashes one down. Rumika Hare under 36 on the year. That man is on fire. McVeigh for three. Oh, connects on another. 15-point lead. McVeigh out to Steindl, who sinks his old squad for the second time in their 3 seasons. The JackJumpers are headed to the Championship Series. It proved to be a defining step on the road to championship glory the last time these two teams met. And in a season anew, it's a rivalry renewed as Tasmania host Perth at My State Bank Arena. A gripping semi-final matchup when we last saw these two teams. And now they're both under a little bit of pressure in the early stages of NBL25. It hasn't kept the Tassie fans away. They've piled into the nest, as always, for another big game. On the Mitsubishi Motors ladder, they've come into this one 7 and 8, both 1 and 2, both coming off losses earlier in the weekend. It's a get-right game for one of these two teams. Just who, we will find out in about 2 hours from now. Joel Peterson, Pete Hooley, Leonard Copeland with you. Terrific to have you with us here courtside at My State Bank Arena. Big game for both of these teams, Pete.
It is, and I love being here. It's fun to be down here surrounded by the Ant Army who go crazy every single time this place has a game on. Massive bounce-back game for both clubs, right? Tassie are trying to protect home court, build a fortress here at My State Bank Arena, and Perth coming off one of them biggest disappointment losses we've seen in some time.
At the moment, the stats would say, Copes, they're both really struggling on the offensive end, Perth especially on Friday night.
Absolutely, and Pete, you're right. It's how Perth lost that game at home. To lose by that many points, 29 points, to Melbourne United was a disappointing loss for them. Again, they got to work on their defensive side of things, but they got to get their 2 superstars going. You got to get Cotton going. You got to get Pinder going. And once they get going, then the rest of the team will follow.
That man was the big story out of Friday night's game against Cairns. Will Magnay charged with unduly rough play for an incident late in that game. It was graded as intentional low-impact high contact by the game review panel. He copped a $1,150 fine. Tassie with an early guilty plea. Fair outcome or not, people?
I think it is now after the fact. And we were calling this game, and what we saw on the replays, this right here, if he's ejected in that game, which he probably should have been, or at least given a tech, I don't think it goes any further than that. I think you can keep the result on the floor, the outcome of a hand around the neck. Okay, you're ejected. The result was already finished with then anyway. The game was over. You're out of this game, and then it probably would have ended there. Because it didn't happen, because they got that wrong, and then went to the game review panel, and I think it came with the right call as the one game and then the early guilty plea.
For Bryce Cotton on Friday night, Copes, one of his worst in terms of scoring output performances in his NBL career. What do you expect from him this afternoon?
Well, I'm expecting him to bounce back. He's an MVP player and a talented player, not just on the point side of things, Joe. He gets things going offensively, but he passes the ball well, he rebounds the ball well, and he leads his team. So I'm expecting for him to bounce back big and give them a shot to win this game. And
the always enigmatic Keanu Pinder, he is coming off a double-double, an improved performance last time out. He'll be primed and ready for a big game this evening, 10 and 10 against Melbourne on Friday, and he's part of the starting lineup for the Wildcats. Kelsey Brown is courtside. Kels, as we welcome you in, a couple of big outs again for the Cats.
Yeah, thanks, Joel. You speak of Dylan Windler and Ty Webster out again tonight for the Wildcats. John really, when he was asked about that heavy loss to United, said that it basically came down to missing those 2 key players. They're out again tonight, and Coach, I want to know, with that being said by John, really, can we expect a similar result tonight?
Well, look, they are 2 very important pieces, but this is a team. You got Withers, you got Pepper, those guys can get it done as well, so hopefully they come in and play a lot better than they did the other night.
So a couple of changes to the Perth starting lineup, which is really interesting, Pete. So Christian Doolittle's in there, Bryce Cotton, Keanu Pinder. Withers and Pepper both get the start. We don't even have a photo for Todd Withers.
Well, nominated replacement player, you're right. No, look, I think the reason Todd Withers is starting and not Hiram Harris is once Windler is healthy, he's going to be their starting power forward. So this is probably just getting Hiram Harris used to a new role coming off the bench.
And the same 5 for Scott Roth, Crawford, Doyle, Drimmick, Tarangi and Magnay. It was Tassie 2-1 in the semi-final series. They closed it out in Perth. Early in the following season, they return to the nest to do battle. The Ants and the Cats to close out round 3 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. And it's the home team who will start us off on the offensive end. Drimmick had a freeway to the hoop, couldn't finish.
Mr. Bunny, Anthony Drimmick, and Copes, you slapped me on the shoulder. Todd Withers going to Jordan Crawford off the jump.
It's some very strange matchups out there.
Withers outside. We know he can stroke it, and he showed it.
This is some size going to Jordan Crawford, the shortest player in the league. A little bit of a chess move here from John Riley.
6'7", 6'8", Todd Withers. He spent some time with the Adelaide 36ers a few seasons ago, playing with the Warwick Senators most recently in the NBL1 West. Doyle in the corner, a little bit short. Scott Roth said he wanted Tassie to be more aggressive early in the piece. Anthony Drimmick never lacks that.
I like it, Coach. It's something different that I don't think Tasmania would have expected either. One, Withers probably to be in the starting line, but to put his size on Jordan Crawford, I don't like picking up full court because it's going to get easy to get blown by. But other than that, it's a different wrinkle.
It is a different look, but let me tell you something. Crawford is so quick, I don't see him on Withers on him all night. And in fact, they changed it up again. They got Pepper on him now.
Big job for Elijah Pepper, stepping in for the starting lineup. Magnay dumps it down low. Tarangi can't finish.
That was all Christian Doolittle right there.
And I have been asking for this for 2 or 3 years. Somebody to post up Cotton. Not because he doesn't play defense, because of his size. And that's how you negate a guy who likes to score. If you go at him defensively, if you go at him offensively, then he starts to think about guarding you rather than you having to guard him all night.
Well, it's great help from Doolittle. He recognised the mismatch and came across just enough to worry Tarangi out of the shot.
Cotton sees a double team. Doolittle on the drive. Baseline gets it to go. 7-0 start for the visitors.
Really strong start from Perth. They got a little pep to their step right now. Tasmania, we know they like to grind it out and execute. Got to get Jordan Crawford involved in the offense.
They dug themselves an awful hole on Friday night against the Snakes. Fought back to be within 4 late in the piece. They've won their last 4 here as Magnay. Gets things started for the hosts, Will Magnay, and he will step to the line to add the bonus.
Need a big game from him. And if you go back to that semi-final series last year, the first 2 games were a tale of who won the big man battle. Keanu Pinder was exceptional in game 1, and in game 2 it was Will Magnay. They're 2 very different big men as well. You got Keanu Pinder, who likes to put the ball on the floor, finish. He can finish above the rim, but likes to finish it with finesse as well, whereas Will Magnay's all about brute strength.
Doolittle handling the rock. Cotton for 3. Well and truly offline from Bryce.
And I think what's happening is really just switching things up. Now there's Cotton on Crawford. So all 3 of these guards have had a chance to guard Crawford.
3 for Doyle. Behind the back, Magnay!
We took a couple of those the other night. The stroke looks good.
That's Drimmick with the assignment on Cotton at the other end. Doolittle doing plenty of the ball handling early with this different lineup for the Wildcats. Pinder faces up Magnay. Pepper with the hustle play.
Great hustle by Pepper.
Corner.
U14 for the Wildcats. Bryce curls his way inside, gets the roll, and he'll step to the stripe.
And that's what you can't afford to do. Give them a second shot. You got to rebound against this team because Cotton gets a free lane to the basket. He's probably going to make it.
That's all Elijah Pepper, the hustle to chase it down. And you're down to Pinder. He's getting that ball on the low block, but then facing up. And by the time he squares up, he's just inside the three-point line. He's either going to step out to try and take a three or trust himself to put the ball on the floor and try and attack Will Magnay's hips. There's Withers back on Crawford for you, Copes.
Throwing a few different looks at Jordan Crawford early.
Just looks like whoever is the closest is guarding him.
But I also don't mind that if it is an intentional thing of throwing different looks at him. So Jordan Crawford, maybe in the first two possessions, thinks, okay, I've got an advantage here. Let's run a play that I can attack with his feet. And then he gets Elijah Pepper. That kind of probably negates that. If it is something they've put in place, I think it's a very smart plan.
A little bit.
Crawford for three in the corner. Offline, but Magnay keeps it alive with some help from Tarangi. Drimmick, the drop-off to Ruben Tarangi.
Also interesting you see here, Christian Doolittle bringing the ball up the floor with no Ty Webster. Good pass. Oh, Doyle!
Doyle said no, sir.
He spiked that one out of there. Pepper for three. And back to Doyle. Inside, Magnay, over Cotton.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Milton's got bunnies like that?
Well,
I think it was exceptional timing more so than anything else.
Ben Henschel getting set to check into the game. Kinder thought about it. Kinder going up strong. Again, good defense from the Jackies.
Keep an eye on Milton Doyle. Counter Pinder just put his elbow right in the middle of Milton Doyle's nose.
Rungy short-armed that one. Wholesale changes coming in for the Wildcats. Perth 10-7 early. Joel Peterson, Pete Hawley, Leonard Copeland, Kelsey Brown with you here at My State Bank Arena. Cairns winners over Melbourne earlier today. Behind the back goes Cotton. Withers for another three. Won't go. Perth keep it alive.
wow.
It's been a hectic couple of minutes.
Physical, I feel like I'm out there playing.
Here's the Amy replays. Good setup from Christian Doolittle. Milton Doyle comes out of nowhere. And how's the timing of it? The Pinder thought he had an easy one, and Milton Doyle. Oh, shades of Copeland in that.
Rolled that thing out of
That was 2006 Leonard Copeland-esque.
Nah, bro.
2006, you're a bit older.
90s, early 90s. 2006, I wasn't jumping.
You were more athletic than that in the 90s.
In the 90s,
Yeah, that was 2006, a little bit of air.
2006, I wasn't even trying to block that. Let him have it go.
Steindl, Sword, Kruzlovic check into the game for the Jackies. So Craig Sword fouled out the other night. What do you think the conversations would have been with him to try and get him some more minutes and just keep him out there?
Well, look, most Americans come over here and struggle with the referees and the calls and the physical play. It takes him a little time to learn what's happening. So I think he'll be okay. I mean, he's athletic. He's smart.
Well, Scott did say in the press conference that he's got to adapt as Milton Doyle just getting his nose plugged up from that hit with Counter Pinder. So these are some different looks we're seeing recently here with Perth, with some key guys out, but Dano Manza playing the 5 spot. Did it on Friday night late as well.
Single digits now for Crawford, scooping his way inside.
And that's what I was worried about. Yes, Withers can play defense, but it's a different kind of defense when you got to guard Crawford.
No, Withers on Jordan Crawford there. I'd almost be inclined just to continue to keep that ball.
It's 2 of 9 on Friday night, Crawford. Here's Henschel. Gives it up. Hiram Harris in game 100. Can't get on the board early. Tassie with a chance to tie it up through Jordan Crawford. A little bit strong. Rebound Henschel. Hit a head pass to Withers.
Interesting lineup here for the Wildcats with no Bryce, Doolittle or Pinder on the floor. And we go back to the guys that are out. I fully expect when they're healthy, the starting lineup will be Ty Webster, Bryce Cotton, Doolittle, Windler and Keanu Pinder. Now, their closing lineup I think will be different to that. I think their closing lineup will probably have Henschel or Pepper in it. But make no mistake, if you talk about defensively, but also a tone setter, that's what Ty Webster is for this team. To set the tone, to start the game off the right way. And Dylan Windler will be in their best lineup, make no mistake about that either.
So Todd Withers, second free throw is good. Very disappointed Tassie crowd. After that one, 13-9. 4 minutes remaining in this opening frame. Steindl curling outside. Majuk Ding putting it on the floor, almost losing it. Steindl, quick release. Henschel secures it again for the Wildcats. Another block, this time it's Ding, who says absolutely not.
Good chase down there from Deng, but also give credit for Krizovic for walling up without fouling to make Almanza do something different, which allowed Deng to catch up. And 3.5 minutes left in this first quarter. I'd like to see them run a bit more action for Bryce. And when I say action, they've got to set screens. You've got to hit people on the screens to free him up.
Back into the game. And another block. Deng again on Harris. Perth able to recycle it. Cotton inside, nice ball movement. Almanza with the touch, no.
And the one thing Roth won't be happy about is these offensive rebounds. Can't give Perth second and third shot or chance at it.
Tassie had been the best offensive rebounding team in the league coming into this one. More than 15 a game. The other end. Doyle, long three. Henschel looks to push the pace again. And cans that one.
Tough shot.
He's lucky he hit that.
Certainly got the ability to do it, Ben Henschel. Really might prefer that he didn't require it. 6-point Wildcats lead. Almanza with the intervention. Second season for Hiram Harris in Perth. Brings up game 100 this evening. Doesn't see a lot that he likes.
Got away with the travel there, Hiram Harris.
Backs away, Cotton. Won't go.
Getting really beat up off the ball is Bryce Cotton. It's not Craig Sword. Anyone who's close to him is really trying to get into his body.
Jackie's 4 of 13 to start here, Pete. Oh, a bit of friendly fire between Krizovic and Steindl. Doyle. He misses again. 4 of 14. Cotton's in the open floor. Can he make it work? Oh, absolutely.
Probably should have been a foul on that one as well.
He's getting beat up, Cops.
Yeah. Probably should have called that one.
I was going to say, besides that one, to be perfectly honest, I think the refs have let a lot go in this game, which is fine, right? You've set a tone now that there's going to be a level of physicality on both ends of the floor that is allowed. If that stays for the rest of the game, then so be it. It gives players time to adjust. It's where those whistles start to come in, where players are like, I thought it was one way and now it's another, is where it gets a little tricky.
That's the problem. That's when the other team starts to get a little bit upset about it. Because.
But I like it. If that's the way it is for the next hour and a half, I'm all for it.
9 points through 8 minutes. Do you think Scott Roth would be a bit concerned with what he's seeing early?
Look, we say that. Most coaches would. But Roth is such a calm coach. He knows that they're going to be in the game at the end of the game. And they always make a run.
And a turnover here. Kelsey Brown, you were talking to Scott Roth pre-game.
Yeah, I spoke to Scott Roth about the intensity that they wanted to bring into this first quarter. They had a slow start against Cairns, got down to a 23-point deficit. Is this how they would have wanted to start this game, 17-9 as we speak?
Oh, absolutely not. I wouldn't be happy with that whatsoever. But what he always trusts his team is going to do, if they're struggling to score, they're going to plug it up on the other end as well. They've only given up 17, which is not do or die. They just need some easy buckets. Having to force everything like that, that's a trouble. You go back to that 9 points, besides the one at the free throw line, the rest have been on 2 mismatches in the post. And other than that, they've got to try and make some things happen.
And whenever I see Wag stuff come in the game, I think get Cotton the ball, and that's what he does well. He knows how to read Cotton. He knows where to get Cotton the ball. And all it takes is for Cotton to knock down one shot, and he's right back in the thing.
Wagstaff, Cotton, Henschel, Almanza, Doolittle the 5 for John Riley, Crawford, Drimmick, Deng, Prislovich, and Doyle the 5 for Scott Roth. Wildcats by 8, late in the piece here in the opening frame. Cotton driving inside, foul on the play.
He has been getting beat up, as we said, Copes, and it's something to keep an eye on for the rest of this game too. Because the Jack Jumpers are blitzing, they're double teaming Bryce every time he comes off a ball screen. It means that the bigs have started not to set the screens. They're really trying to get out of that action quick so they can exploit the double team, which is what you're supposed to do. The problem is there, if it becomes just a hard hedge and you're not setting a screen, you're not letting Bryce get to an advantage.
Yep.
I'd like to see some more physical screen set. Try and free Bryce up with some physicality and hit somebody on a screen.
Well, again, Roth is one of those smart coaches, and you watched the game on Friday, I'm sure he did, and you watched how Melbourne United played Cotton, and they were able to keep Cotton down. So they're going to run some schemes at him. They're going to double him. They're going to throw different people at him, just to try to keep him off of his game.
First time we've seen Walter Brown. He looked really good in the preseason. I thought we were going to see a lot more of him when Sean McDonald went down.
First appearance for the season for Walter Brown.
Sneaky athlete, Copes. Jealous of the hair too.
Aren't we all?
Hair is magnificent for the Kiwi. So just over a minute remaining here in this opening frame. Joel Peterson, Pete Hawley, Leonard Copeland, Kelsey Brown with you. Second leg of a Sunday doubleheader. Cairns getting it done over Melbourne earlier today. Last game of round 3 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Magnay working inside. Takes it straight at Doolittle. Brown keeps it alive to Henschel. Here's Cotton with the runway. Almanza underneath, good touch.
Tell you what, John really standing in front of us. He is stoked with their defensive physicality and intensity.
Oh.
Doyle inside for Magnay, turnover again. 4 turnovers to none in this opening period. And the Wildcats will get a late look at this.
And with the way they've been blitzing a ball screen, I'm not bringing anybody. Everyone else have your feet set and let Bryce go to work.
Cotton sizing up Brown. Offloads to Wagstaff, pass inside. And a foul.
Definitely a foul.
Flop warning on 24.
Jesse Wagstaff with a flop warning, as you hear from Ken Widgeon.
What was that?
Jesse Wagstaff copping a flop warning from Ken Widgeon.
I thought I'd heard that before. You like that one? Yeah, you're right though. It was from where we were sitting as well. It's a foul. This is now where your Tassie, you've got to adjust as well, right? They really throwing their bodies around in the first few minutes. Now the last couple have been called, so the referees are watching.
Hey, there we go.
And Roth won't be happy with the 4 turnovers. I mean, look,
Hey, dribble handoff.
Perth have come in for business. They've lost 2 games in a row.
Bryce didn't attempt a free throw on Friday night, so he's on the board early. 23-9, closing in on quarter time. Doyle to beat the buzzer. No! And it is a decisive lead, a powerful lead to the Wildcats at the end of 1. Tassie slow out of the blocks. It's the Cats who lead it by 14 at quarter time.
Well, everyone, this one's exciting as a way of saying thank you for being here today and showing your continued support Willie Smith has a special surprise for you. Check under your seats because everyone here is getting a free cider next time they're at the Willie Smith's Apple Share. Give it up for Willie Smith's.
Time in Tassie, and it is all the Wildcats, 23-9, despite a couple of big defensive plays from Doyle and Deng at that end for the JackJumpers. It has been all Perth, 7 of 18 in an opening period, and they lead by 14 points. Joel Peterson, Pete Hooley, Leonard Copeland, your call team this afternoon. Kelsey Brown is courtside. What was Scott Roth like at quarter time, Kels?
Yeah, well, the Tasmanian huddle was all a bit perplexed by what had just happened in that first quarter. Milton Doyle spoke first. He said it's all about the fouls and rebounds. Scott Roth chimed in and said 9 foul shots they've taken already. Let's clean that up.
Cotton with an attempt there.
That's the defensive side of it. And to be honest, giving up 23 isn't that poor. They've got 7 fouls, as Scott Roth was alluding to, but offensively, they need this man right here, Jordan Crawford, to get going. And not just get going, but orchestrate the offense. This is where the absence of Sean McDonald is really going to hurt Tasmania until he's back.
Lowest scoring first quarter for Tassie in their history. 107th game today. Hadn't scored less than 11 in an opening term before this.
And that's 0 for 5 for Milton Doyle. He has to get going as well.
They're 0 for 8 from three-point range, Coach.
Well, they're all either deep or contested. They might have had one. That Will Magnay one was the only open look they've had.
And you got to give Perth credit. Perth, they're up and in. They're playing great defense.
Low numbers now for Withers. Jack's a contested 3.
That could have very easily been a goal.
Wildcats wanted a foul. Walter Brown on the drive. Offloads to Magnay. Can't finish underneath. And then he can't recycle the possession, but it's going to stay with Tassie.
There is a lot of contact going on.
Yeah.
On both sides.
Ruben,
and there could have been a whistle the last 2.
Every time. My guy can't get one. Just be fair, my friend. Be fair.
So baseline ball for Tassie. Crawford to Brown. That one rattles out.
They cannot buy a bucket. And as we said, so back to, looked like Milton Doyle got hit by Withers, and then it looked like Withers got hit. If this is the way it's going to be, it's got to stay this way.
And
20%.
And both coaches are into the referees, as you should be as a coach, but they're letting them play.
A little over the top of Magnay, can't hit. Into the referees, into the commentators, into the lot.
Yeah,
courtside.
Copped a bit of a spray. I'm not sure what we're supposed to do about it, but
just venting, I think, JR.
Just in case his mic wasn't working, he wanted to test ours out.
I think he was just venting. Deng from outside. Guarded by Pepper, who forces him back toward midcourt.
That's what I'm talking about.
The first shot would have been a much better shot. You open, take the shot. You're trying to make it better by putting it on the floor.
What will make John really very happy is the way they're playing defense together. That ball goes up as well. They're flying in there to help each other. Ultra physical on both ends, and that's why they all look pretty gassed right now on both teams. This is a physical affair.
Cotton coming out of the game. 4 of 21 from the field, Tassie. 19%. They are 0 of 9.
Well, that's the threes they're getting. One-legged, heavily contested.
One free throw attempt.
Which means Perth are doing their job.
Only had 6 on Friday night against the Snakes. Doolittle from the corner, can't hit. And the Wildcats not shooting the lights out of the thing either. They're only shooting it at 32%. Tarangi wrestles with the defence. Somehow they got it over.
Oh, I don't think they did,
No, I
Joel.
don't think they did get it
I don't
over.
think they did, but the ball was loose.
Might be getting the rub of the green at the moment. Clint Steindl can't come up with it. 4 of 22, 0 of 10 now the Jackies.
And that's Clint Steindl's shot, but when you are struggling to put it in the ocean right now, you need to get a set to either get a post up next to the rim or a layup as Ben Henschel tries with a Euro. And if I'm probably speaking on behalf of everyone, let's just start this second quarter again. Let's just put 10 minutes back on the clock and start the second quarter and forget the last 3 minutes ever happened.
Well, we may as well, because neither of them have scored. It's still 23-9. Through 13 minutes of basketball, Tassie have got 9 points. 9 and 10 in the league offensive rating. Maybe that'll light a fire under them from Magnay. Finally into double digits, the JackJumpers. Magnay's 3 of 7. Withers has it rattle around.
Again, that's what we talk about. Tassie is struggling to score, but they're really plugging it up on their end as well.
Withers with some good defense on Crawford.
Been great. Bob Withers.
Henschel. A little bit short.
Tired legs. Both teams played on the weekend. Physical match. No one can buy a basket.
Doyle with some craft. And John really wants to have a chat to his team.
Yeah, I like it. It's not really a momentum swing because both teams are throwing punches with their physicality, but just 2 scores in a row after it dried up for so long. He's not even letting them get some momentum. Quick timeout.
So 23-13. We've had 4 points in this quarter so far. They've all gone the way of the JackJumpers through more than 4 minutes. Kelsey Brown spoke to Ben Henschel of the Wildcats pre-game.
Ben, thanks for your time. Tough loss to United, but a first start for you. How did you find opening the game?
It was good. I mean, I got the opportunity to start in the preseason, so I felt comfortable coming in, getting that starting role, and I mean, it didn't change my mentality. I'm going to come out and play the same way.
You were up against a pretty veteran backcourt in Shea Elliott and Golding. It's no different tonight against Milton Doyle and Crawford. How do you look at the matchup for tonight?
I mean, yeah, they're a good team. We've obviously done some film, done some scout over the weekend after that tough game we played on Friday. I mean, but that's basketball. We get another chance to come out here, show what we can do again. So yeah, I mean, we just got to lock in the scout this week, bring energy from the start, and I think we'll be good.
I certainly brought plenty of energy early. Neither side's brought a great deal of offense, though, on Art Copeland, Pete Hooley. We've got 36 points on the board between the two, but Tassie on the comeback trail.
I know we're not supposed to say this, but this is some ugly basketball. Just being honest.
Copes, call it as you see it, Copes. That's exactly right. What it is.
This is some ugly basketball. Both teams are struggling to put the ball in the hole, and they're being physical. Bodies flying everywhere. The first team to slow it down and get a set play.
That's what you have to commend both sides, though, because they are bringing a different level of physicality than we've probably seen all season long. Their bodies hitting the deck. Everybody's hitting each other. Bryce Cotton tries to rise up. That one's in and out. He's going to get 2 for $1. I wouldn't do that to Bryce Cotton.
Oh!
Pinder rips it down.
What a rebound by Pinder.
That's what he can do.
And it's just going to count as an offensive rebound. And what I love is that Bryce Cotton went straight to counter Pinder and said, that's on you. That's an incredible effort. When you have had a bit of a slow start to the season, albeit the first game, that's what you want to see.
1 of 21 from outside these two teams.
But 3 opportunities on this end, Joe. You get Perth 3 opportunities, they're going to eventually take advantage of it.
Still haven't had a turnover, the Wildcats either. They're shooting at 29%, Tassie at 24%, so it is a defensive slog between these two teams. Henschel guarding Crawford. 4 on the shot clock. Crawford steps back and connects.
And that's probably the one time we haven't seen the Wildcats climb into Jordan Crawford. The whole first 15 minutes of this game, whenever he's had the ball, whether it was Withers or Pepper, they're climbing in. Henschel gave him too much space, and you can't give space to a scorer and allow him to feel comfortable.
He's had a rough shooting start to the season, Jordan Crawford. Doesn't need too much of an invitation, as we well know. Henschel inside, somehow to Almanza, who gets it up before the buzzer.
Another offensive rebound. You're going to get tired of me saying it, but...
Milton Doyle wasn't happy either. He did the work to get the deflection. His JackJumpers teammates needs to get on the ball.
Crawford off to Tarangi. Oh, the reverse from Ruben.
I didn't know Ruben had the filet mignon in him.
Nine-point Wildcats lead. 4 remaining in this second period. Cotton whips it to Almanza. Pinder with a thunderous throwdown.
Great offensive play. Great offensive play.
Beautiful execution. You're spot on, Copes.
Tassie keep chipping away at this lead. Both teams have started to hum offensively in these last couple of moments. Doyle with 3 on the clock, making his move on Doolittle and adding it.
Just a tough shot.
They're all tough shots. And I guess eventually something has to go.
Pinder from the corner. Almanza coming over the back of Tarangi. Amy replay.
Little touch pass. Bryce to Almanza to Keanu Pinder, who flushed it, and then Milton Doyle. You talk about a tough shot. Christian Doolittle can't do a whole lot more there on the Amy replay.
So 29-21. We've got 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Not like in the early game today. It was 29-21 with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter between Melbourne and Cairns.
What are you saying, Joel? Those two teams don't play deep?
I'm saying maybe these two don't play a lot of offense, Pete. Here's Withers.
Timeout, Scott Roth.
So Scott Roth, the Tangerine timeout. 31-21, 3 minutes remaining. Wildcats lead back to double digits. Tassie at 9 of 28 from the field. Perth at 11 of 32. It is not an offensive showcase, but it is 2 heavyweights who are going blow for blow here in this opening half. And we'll take a listen to the Tassie coach.
Just keep at it. And the 40, they're trying to take away our pressure, inbounding it and leaving them by ourselves. So when they go in the lane, they're not looking, just run at them. Everybody be up the line. Make them make some early shots, early mistakes. Let's go back to Billy for Kent. Billy. Let's have a good 3 minutes here to settle down, all right? Let's cut into this lead a little bit. Solid defense, ball in front. We got a gang rebound together. 1, 2, 3 together. Come on. 123.
One thing for sure when it comes to the JackJumpers, they're not going to panic. Even when they were down big in Cairns, it looked like it was done at halftime. They know that if they're struggling, they'll eventually get a little run going themselves, and they pride themselves on grit and defense to hang around enough.
And you heard the coach say, gang rebounds. They got to box out. They got to go to the glass. Because if you give Perth that many opportunities, that many shots, then you're going to struggle.
Crawford, Deng, Magnay, Doyle, Steindl out there for the Jackies. Almanza, Cotton, Pinder, Withers, Pepper for the Wildcats. Cotton leads all scorers with 9. Magnay has 7 and 6 rebounds for the JackJumpers. Steindl finds the bottom of the cup.
When you coach has called a timeout and he's not happy and he's trying to figure something out, when you go out and execute just like that, that's a championship mentality. They've done that in the first 3 years.
Quinn Steindl with just his second three-point make on the season, and Withers with his second on the night.
Look good, coach.
Right back at you. And Withers is up and in. You know what it's like, Pete? You knock down a shot.
You caused him to go out.
I don't know that, actually.
When you knock down a shot, the first thing you want to do is play defense. You get up and in, so.
You can speak from that experience. I not so much.
Come on, Pete. You knocked down plenty of shots, bro.
Side out for the JackJumpers.
More than Felix. Yeah, I was up more than Felix.
Just over 2 minutes remaining. Margin is 10 at the moment. Cotton forces it away from Steindl.
Great
It's off
activity.
the Wildcats.
Starting a lot, play before that, Steiner came off that screen, and Cotton didn't get over the top, and he knocked it down. This time, Cotton got over the top, so Steiner had to make that pass. So,
Crawford, inside to Deng, who just couldn't connect. He had to go a long way back for that.
Another good execution too. And Machuk Deng's long arms can't catch that, and it's just a poor pass.
Almanza a little bit strong with the runner. Should have made better of that one, the big man. Still only 19 years of age. Ifan Almanza, such a bright future ahead of the next star. Magnay surveys the court. Crawford, the baseline, the circus shot from Jay Craw. That is all kinds of tough.
that's a tough shot.
Slowly chipping away. Tough shots they were making in the first quarter. They're starting to drop a couple.
What kind of number would Scott Roth want it at half-time, do you feel, the margin?
Oh, 0 would be ideal. But no, I think...
Or in the positive.
I think single digits he'd be happy with how poor they played in the first half.
And a giveaway. First turnover of the game for the Wildcats. Almanza coming out of the game.
Coming out talking to himself.
Doolittle back out there for the Cats with Cotton, Hiram Harris, Keanu Pinder and Elijah Pepper. Crawford, Deng, Magnay, Doyle, Steindl, the five for the Jackies. Minute remaining in this first half. 8-point ball game, 6-point ball game. Timeout, John Rillie and the Wildcats.
And the JackJumpers are always gonna make a run. They're at home. They play like this. They get behind. They don't panic. To see a couple of those jump shots go in, gives them that confidence.
They need the Game 5 hero, Jordan Crawford. He's a tough shot maker. Just going to make the easy ones as well.
So 34-28. It has not been a high-scoring affair, that is for sure. Earlier today, of course, Cairns 101 defeated Melbourne 88, and it starts a tough stretch on this Perth schedule as well. They've got Cairns in Cairns on Thursday night, so that kicks off round 4 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. The Wildcats will go straight from here to there, so straight to Cairns this week before they play the Snakes on Thursday. And, of course, then they're at New Zealand as well after that. So it's a tough little stretch for the Wildcats. That's the next week, so they'll go back to Perth before they go over the ditch.
That's a lot of traveling, Pete. A lot of traveling. So
get it out of the way.
Yeah, when teams complain about traveling, I say, nah, you got to look at New Zealand, you got to look at Perth. As much traveling as they do, it's hard to complain.
So minute remaining here, Wildcats by 6. Let's check in with Kels.
John Rillie said he just wants them to finish off the quarter, play with a little bit of pace, which is not what they're doing at the moment. But he also spoke with Keanu Pinder and said, get Magnay out of the keyway. We want to leave that open.
And that's by doing this, setting screens, and if he has to pop, he will pop.
Harris putting it on the floor, trying to find Pinder underneath. Can't link up with him.
That's why you got to get Magnay out of there. He's not just a shot blocker, he's just very active with his hands.
They can get it back to a one-possession game here. Crawford tosses it inside for Magnay. Can't finish first time, he gets it the second.
Just hang around and never get rattled.
2-second difference, shot and game clock. John Rillie says it shouldn't have started. Ken Wiggins says we'll fix it if we need to.
I don't know how you knew that on the fly.
It's going to be difficult. Cotton inside. Oh, he's so good.
Can you the replay center? I think we had an errant shot clock. I want to make sure that shot would have went off if it started properly. Shot clock error. Yep.
I like that.
Let him play.
Okay, correct, right?
Let him play. Let him get it over.
To see what happens, then the shot is made, and now they're going to go back in the replay center just to check that when the clock started, the shot clock was early, would that have still counted in the right way? And I think they're actually looking at it the wrong way, potentially. So there is the 2 points. Would have been the other way if it started too early.
So 4.5 seconds remaining. Doyle can get one off before half-time. He can't hit. But Perth had a big lead in that opening frame. They led by 14 points at quarter time. At half-time, it is just 6. And it is a low-scoring slog, 30-36 in what's a defensive battle, Copes.
Absolutely. Much better second quarter, though, let me tell you. That first quarter was ugly, but the JackJumpers were always going to make a run. They're at home. They're used to playing like that. As you've seen, Scott Roth, no panic.
Let's get to Kelsey Brown.
Here with Todd Withers, you started off strong, 14-point deficit at the break. What happened in that second quarter to let them back in?
We let them get going. We were forcing stops early and like making them speed up. Then they got a rhythm and started making some very tough shots. So that's what really let them back in the game. We got to focus in and get stops and slow them down, or try to speed them up and get turnovers like we did in the first quarter.
So that's on the defensive end. Offensively, what do you need to do to push this lead out?
Got to slow their scores down. Like, got to let them get. Got to take them out of their stuff. We did a really good job in the first quarter, like taking away, guys like Doyle and Crawford, stuff like that, trying to make everybody else score. So got to try to do that again and get the ball out their hands. They're really, really good scorers, really talented players. So try to take them out of their stuff and then slow them down.
All the best in the second half.
Thank you.
The replacement player is Perth's second leading scorer, Todd Withers, at halftime. 6-point margin, Wildcats lead. Fascinating clash. Plenty of work to do for both coaching groups. Pete Hooley, Leonard Copeland will break it all down next.
Welcome back to MyState Bank Arena. It's halftime where the Perth Wildcats lead by 6. It's a hotly contested affair, which we expected. Leonard Copeland, there's been a lot of physicality, a lot of defense played. You like to use the word ugly for the first quarter, which, to be honest, was probably a little unflattering to what we saw in the opening 10 minutes, but in the second quarter, both teams started to free it up, and hence we got some scoring finally.
Absolutely, the first quarter was ugly. Ugly for Tasmania, but we always knew they're never going to panic. They've been down like this before. But the Wildcats came out and played some pretty good defense in that first quarter and shut them down. They scored 9 points. So, look, at the end of the day, it's an ugly match, but both teams are fighting hard to get a win.
And that's what happens when you've got two teams that are really trying to bounce back from disappointing losses on Friday. From a Tasmania point of view, we've been calling for more from Jordan Crawford. He was slow in the first 10 minutes again, but as we have a look at the Hungry Jacks highlights, his number was called in that second quarter. He stood up and he really started to show us more of that game 5 we saw last year from JC.
Absolutely, 4 for 7 from the field, 9 points, but he just looks like he's being the old Jordan Crawford of old. Getting the shots, knocking them down, and playing good defense.
And this is what the JackJumpers do, because they do struggle to score the ball at times with no Jack McVeigh. As we have a look at this Blackmore shot chart, all of those green dots, the 4 of 7 from the field, they're hotly contested. They are hand in the face, but he can make that. Until they start scoring, they rely on their defense to do some good things, and that's exactly what happened. But on the other end, Copes, we talk normally about Bryce Cotton. We normally talk about Keanu Pinder, but it's Todd Withers for the Wildcats, who's the nominated replacement player right now. He comes in with no Dylan Windler active into the starting lineup, and geez, he's looked very good.
He did, 3 for 6. He had 9 points as well. Knocked down his first 3. That gives you a lot of confidence. But then look, he got going, had a dunk, had another 3, and so they trust him to play. In fact, they had him guarding Crawford from the beginning, so he's playing quite well.
Who is it from each team that you need to see step up and take control of this third quarter if they want to come out with a win?
Well, for Tasmania, Doyle has to get going. If he gets going, Magnay gets going, blocking shots and a couple of dunks, then I think you give them the edge. But the way the Wildcats are playing defense, look, who knows who's going to win this one.
Now, this is the last game of the round, which means we're going to look forward to Thursday night where the Perth Wildcats are back in action. They're travelling up to the far north. Rob Edwards, that man is a bad, bad man. The Cairns Taipans went down and got another win over Melbourne United. I'm looking forward to this one as well, Copes.
Oh, fantastic game. Look, Cotton against a very good offensive player. This should be a very good match.
Well, we've got a big one going on here as the teams start to come out. Don't go anywhere. All the action coming right back up.
Halftime in Tassie, and it is the Wildcats by 6, 36-30 over the reigning NBL champions. Here to close out round 3 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Joel Peterson, Leonard Copeland and Pete Hooley with you. It's been a defensive struggle early, but there's a big second half coming up. And Kelsey Brown is with JackJumpers assistant coach, Jared Weeks.
Yeah, I am, Jared. Halftime, you had a slow start in that first quarter, but you recovered well in the second. What happened?
Yeah, just kind of got back to who we are, going back to our style and trying to represent these people the best we can.
At halftime, Scott Roth, did he have some choice words to say, or is he happy with a 6-point deficit at the half?
Just going to try and keep it solid. We're never too high, never too low. Just trying to stay in that sweet spot.
And what do you need to do in this second half?
Hopefully score more points than they do.
There you go. Enjoy the second half.
That's the recipe for the Jackies here in the second quarter. Thanks to Jared Weeks and to Kelsey. Plenty happening in the basketball world at the moment. Pete, of course, the New Zealand Breakers are overseas at the moment, so there's plenty happening in the build-up to an NBA season. Paddy Mills involved in that, coming off a Boomers campaign. He had some interesting things to say to our own Joe Healy about a potential return to the NBL as well.
Hopefully you've still got a few years in the NBA left, but do you think we'll ever see you back in the NBL, maybe an expansion team or something?
It's a great question. I've been watching from afar for a very long time, obviously growing up as well. I do still think I'm a few more years away, looking after the body well, but we'll never cross it off.
So that's very exciting. And this was very cool between Petteri Koponen and Lauri Markkanen.
Oh, I love it, Joel. I'm a massive Petteri Koponen fan. And these are two Finnish basketball legends. They used to play together for the national team in Finland, and now the way that Lauri Markkanen talked post-game to Joe about what it meant to have Petteri on the other side on an NBA floor meant a lot to both of them, and already has a few of his jerseys up on the wall, and I guarantee you Lauri's got a couple of Finland Petteri ones as well. That's the beauty of those games, isn't it, to put Australian basketball on the map like that.
Cool moment. Cool
awesome
moment.
to see.
Yeah.
Well-edited video too, that one, might I add.
So a little bit of time before the second half here. I'll start with you and John Riley. Copes, what do you think his message would be to the Cats?
His message is come out and play the way you played the first quarter. The defense was amazing. The referees let a lot go, but they let a lot go from both teams, and they were aggressive, and they shut down Tasmania.
And for Scott Roth and the JackJumpers, a really rough shooting half, Pete. What do you think his instruction would be? And they've only got to the free throw line once.
Yeah, I think the free throw line's a big one, but to be honest, they hit 2 threes, or maybe all 3 of those in the second quarter. They had 9 points in the opening quarter, 21 in the second, so they have turned things around. I think halftime he would have been a little bit happy with the way it's turned around. If they had continued to struggle, then it's a different story, but they're right there, and they know that if they're struggling to score here, they'll be around the mark come the end of the game because defensively they're always so solid.
Get to the free throw line a lot on Friday night, either of the JackJumpers. Just the 8 free throw attempts on Friday night. Only the 1 in the first half here. They've kept the Wildcats off the line as well. 8 of 9, the Wildcats, 13 of 36 from the field. So it is very much game on as we enter the second half. The final game of round 3 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Terrific to have you with us to close out a Sunday afternoon here at My State Bank Arena. Crawford wants to get going.
And Perth can afford to be very aggressive. No one on the team with more than 1 foul. So 5 fouls for the whole half. They've done a very good job.
Cotton off the handoff. Bumped by Magnay. Sizes up Crawford.
3 seconds, how long?
Withers works his way underneath.
He's been terrific. And again, you think about a nominator replacement player who's sliding into the right spots like that within the offense. It's like he's been with this team for a few years. Anthony Drimick, that's one way to tick the scoreboard over easily for a team that's only shooting 38% from the field. Get your head down and get to the rim.
Pepper goes down off the ball.
Michael Allen just asking the Cuzzy bench if they're going to complain about every call. I would say that most teams' answers to that will be yes.
Yep, absolutely we will. Doesn't get older at any stage either. 4 seconds here for Pinder, spinning inside. Good defense, Tarangi, no, foul.
That's the right call.
I think it is too.
That is the right call. He got pushed. He definitely got pushed.
So Scott Ross having a look at this. This isn't one that I would potentially waste a challenge for. So having another look here.
Maybe not.
Well, it looked more so on the initial contact rather than right at the end.
Right.
From where we were sitting, that baseline angle, there wasn't a heap in it. But on those ones, with the way that Keanu Pinder plays, when he faces up, when he's got a smaller big on him, or a forward or a wing, he likes to get down, backing it down slowly. I'd like him to face up and then just put it on the floor like a guard. He's got the ability to do that, and then try and get around him, finish at the rim.
Recycled possession. Doolittle has a go. Magnay pulls down the rebound. Rebound number 9 for Will Magnay to go with his 9 points.
Pinder's got 10 rebounds himself. 4 of those on the offensive end.
Doyle drops it into Magnay. Remick on the attack. Doyle for 3. Doolittle a rebound for Perth.
It's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but that box-out effort from Todd Withers is exactly why he's so important to this team right now.
Doolittle, Doyle playing the passing lane. Can he finish at the other end? He can! No! It rolls around and out. It went all the way around Tasmania, and it didn't drop.
Did everything right on that one, Joel.
Fell out of Bernie.
Doolittle over the top of Tarangi and Magnay.
He just plays the right way. Doesn't force anything. Makes the right pass, rebounds, plays good defense.
Will gives it up. He's got 5 points on 2 of 10 shooting. Crawford leaning in. That won't work. Pinder comes up with it, hits the deck.
He's clearly made an emphasis on getting on the glass today, Keanu Pinder. Well, his last couple of games have been down on his standards from game 1.
Oh, Magnay comes over the top of Doolittle and gives away the foul.
He's flying in this game. Hopefully Christian Doolittle's all right.
Holding his chest as well is Will Magnay. Doolittle's slow to get up. A little bit of concern about Christian Doolittle here. Finally gets to his feet.
That's a hard hit.
We know he's tough. Thinking about just getting him, having a little rest. Could be a little winded.
41-32. Perth still with the lead. They've had for the majority of the contest. All of the contest throughout. Jackies haven't led at any stage. Perth led by as many as 14, which was their quarter time advantage. They led by 6 at the half. It's now at 9. Tassie are 4-1 in the matchup between these two teams at this venue. Pinder with the left, can't get it to go, pulls it down and puts it back in.
Love his activity.
And another offensive rebound for Pinder.
He's got 12 boards. The way he's attacking the offensive glass, you go back to the first quarter when he ripped down that big O board, that's something you can control. When your offense hasn't clicked for a couple of games, you can control your effort on the glass.
22 rebounds this weekend for Keanu Pinder. Sword has a couple of goes at it. Able to put that one back in.
One of those nice for Milton Doyle, 2 of 11.
Doyle had a great shooting first half on Friday night. He was a little bit slower in the second half. Cotton inside. Oh, Sword coming across. Takes some heavy contact by Pinder.
Well, we're going to have a chat about this. There's nothing more in this than just a normal common foul, I wouldn't think.
Reach for the ball, look for the ball.
It's an awkward landing for Craig Sword.
I do have a hold on 25. I don't see anything excessive, but if you like to review it, I'm okay with it.
Replay center. Currently, we have a common foul on red 25. We're just looking for some feedback on heavy or severe contact, please.
Anything you see there that...
I am worried a little bit just because anytime you have the outside arm and it gets that grabbing motion, they normally look at it. I don't think it should be. But if it was, I wouldn't be shocked because what of things we've seen
I would
in the past.
be shocked. I would be very
right
shocked.
there. That kind of the ball's gone. I've just got my arm out, my outstretched arm, the outside one.
It's a part of basketball, man.
I think it's going to be upgraded.
No.
Normal foul.
Thank
red
you.
25.
Just covered my bases there, Joel. I think it's the right call as we said. Keanu Pinder had no idea where he was just trying to get the ball. But any time that outside arm gets wrapped up around a player, especially in transition, you hold your breath.
So Pinder comes out of the game. 7 points. But as Pete noted, 12 rebounds for KP. 9-point Wildcats lead. Great sword on the take inside. Somehow fashions a basket.
That's a great play by Sword. Balanced himself and got a good shot.
Doolittle drops it off to Henschel. Can't finish. Gilt-edged chance. The Jackies coming back the other way. Doyle turns the corner to Sword in the corner. Magnay keeps it alive. Good ball movement from Tassie. Primick almost slipped over.
Christian Doolittle's not one that I'd be trying to back down. Strong as they come in his position.
Magnay with 11 rebounds now to go with his 9 points. Almost a block there, but Almanza banks it home.
Almanza's tough. I didn't realize how tall he was until he stood next to me.
This is why he's a different prospect to Alex Starr, who was here last year, because his ability to finish with some finesse around the rim rather than just being long and athletic. He's got a really nice touch around the hoop.
He gets a hand up there on Milton Doyle, who is now 2 of 12.
He's not going dark.
Cotton in transition, bang!
Oh, got to be a timeout here. How you let the 4-time MVP walk into a 3-ball, that's not Tassie basketball.
Big hit from Bryce, leads to the Tangerine timeout for Scott Roth. 48-36, Wildcats lead. It's been as many as 14, it is back to 12. And we've got 4:45 remaining here in this third period. Just the third three-pointer for the Wildcats. They're 3 of 15 from downtown. Tassie 3 of 17, so it's been rough shooting for both of them.
Well, 2 of those threes have come from Todd Withers as well. Milton Doyle 1 of 7, Bryce 1 of 5, Jordan Crawford 1 of 4.
So 12-point lead for the Cats. We just saw Ethan Almanza score a nice basket. Let's learn a little bit more about the next star.
Oh, Almanza. There's Almanza on the low block.
The Next Star program made history last season, with French phenom Alex Sarr going #2 in the NBA draft after a stellar year with the Wildcats. And for NBL25, they've recruited an absolute beast, 19-year-old Spaniard Ethan Almanza. He's one of the most decorated youth players in international basketball history. At 6'10", he has a growing collection of MVP awards in his bag, and he's only just getting started.
Gonna take on Alexander Sarr. Twisting, turning, and again, a beautiful move there. Again, no surprise to see why he was the MVP last summer.
The highly skilled big man has elite footwork, can clean the glass on both ends, and finish around the rim with class.
An exciting prospect is Ethan Almanza. He's still out there at the moment for the Wildcats. Steindl gets that to go.
And that's all size. Cotton did the right thing, played defense, but he's just so much bigger and so much taller. He was able to get that shot off.
Argent back to 10. Here is Almanza. Working underneath, not with the left.
Oh, wow, there's some contact on that as well. I agree with you, JR.
Yeah, JR didn't like that one.
I thought there was plenty of contact in that one.
And then Henschel was called for the foul for the ankle tap.
Keep yelling at me, John.
The referee.
Michael Allen, Ken Widge and Ruben Woolcock, our referees this afternoon.
Ruben's got a good point. He is getting yelled at, but Ruben, so are we.
We're all in it together, Ruben. Majuk Deng likes the look of it. Got Doolittle in the air. Wrap around pass underneath. Great finish from Sword.
Showing some good science in this third quarter, Craig Sword. 6 points now. He's in here for his defense.
Can add a bit of scoring punch though, Pete. That does make a big old difference. Harris up for Almanza, who can't collect it.
He's got to catch that off the lob.
I don't think he was ready for it.
They fight for the loose ball. Cotton.
Cotton was.
Accidental, clean the floor, play safety.
I don't think he was ready for it. I think that's the next evolution of Almanza's game, is understanding that you saw the highlights overseas in the youth game. He was ready for all of those. Even though this is the professional ranks and we know how physical the NBL is, he's still got the athleticism and the length to go up and flush that.
Isn't that where Hiram Harris has sputtered his bread? Those hustle plays for John Riley's team over the last couple of seasons.
Again, though, Jack jump away. They just hanging around.
You know they'll close strong. Lockie Barker into the contest now for Tassie. Driving baseline. Comes up empty. 3 minutes remaining, third period. Cats by 10. Cotton off to Harris. Left-hand finish from Hiram Harris.
And that's tough. That's tough. Ding in the middle, expecting the lob. Hiram just goes up with that left hand, lays it off the glass.
Back to 12. Crawford is bumped.
That little Hezzy, he's so quick at that. If you get out of your stance on that Hezzy, he is gone.
Jake, take a step out, take a step out.
Crawford with it on the baseline. Without hesitation. Just the fourth three-pointer of the night for the JackJumpers. Jordan Crawford's into double figures. He's got 12 on 5 of 10 shooting.
Cotton rejects the screen. He feels like he can go at Lockie.
Gives it up to Harris, who gives it up to Almanza. Turnaround from Ethan won't go. Crawford races up the floor.
And that's an offensive foul. Amy replay. Crawford steps in and knocks down the three without hesitation.
The referee there saying there was a hook on Jordan Crawford. He had the best angle of it. That's the third foul for Jordan Crawford.
He's got 3. Tarangi's got 3. As Copes noted earlier, there's no Wildcats in any kind of foul trouble. Only 8 on the game as Cotton goes inside, takes a bit of contact.
Next play, fellas, here we go. 32.
7 of 7 at the line this afternoon, Bryce Cotton. Coming off just 5 points on Friday night. He's got 18 already.
No, just shot. Stop owner. He picked it up, he's going to the basket.
I like that. Referees came together to find out if it was a shooting foul. Bryce Cotton definitely picked it up. I think he was going to go into a floater.
Valuably, although it is a foul on Craig Sword, it's only his first. So it gives Scott Roth a few more options, and Cotton misses the free throw.
And that's something you don't see.
Surely Bryce won't give away Burgers, Coach.
Maybe. If he does, I'm going straight to Hungry Jackson, get me one.
There's one just down the road in Glenorchy, not far from here. We're off to Hungry Jackson!
You got Burgers, brother.
The code is layup, and we'll be there after this. Bryce Cotton, of all people.
Well, it just doesn't happen.
Him?
That's got to be a whopper. It just doesn't happen.
Got to be a whopper and 8 nuggets. The Duke Deng gets it to go. We need the Pedro Bradshaw order.
Absolutely.
Margin back to 7. Minute and a half remaining. Henschel.
No shot.
Stay here.
Foul underneath.
3:32. Push it back. Spot. 2 shots, fellas. 2 shots.
So a couple of shots coming here for Ethan Almanza. Kelsey Brown, you spoke to Scott Roth about Craig Sword pre-game.
I did, and I spoke to him about that foul trouble he's got himself into. 2 quick fouls here in quick succession. He said he just needs to learn the refs and the officiating of this league. But for Craig, he's actually at it on the offensive end tonight. Up until those 2 fouls, I thought he was having a nice game.
Provided a spark for them on both ends. Almanza comes up empty. Here he is, Craig Sword, knifing his way inside. Barker to Deng!
Wow. And they're making a run like they did in the first half.
Don't want to get Tassie to hang around and feel confident about themselves. They just do an exceptional job of always staying in the game defensively. Another stop here. They're going to close out this third quarter and give themselves a real chance.
2-possession game. And Deng's taking a few steps.
I'd like to see him a little more aggressive there. After you've just had this highlight dunk,
Go at him.
Go at him. Defense isn't set from Perth. A little shepherd there from Craig Sword as well. Got touch screen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got you. Here we go. Let him move, let him move.
Doolittle, Henschel, Cotton, Harris, Withers out there for the Wildcats. Deng, Tarangi, Sword, Doyle, Steindl for the Jackies. Cotton. No good. Good, no foul. It's a Jackies ball.
Set it from the start, coach. Got a lot of physicality let go in this game, but for the majority of it, it's been pretty consistent.
And Harum just said to John, I hit it, I hit it. I've never seen a player admit. Most players are looking for the twirl. He just said to his coach, Coach, I hit it, don't worry.
One time.
That is fantastic.
Just one time.
Yeah, Scott Ross asking Michael Ayler.
Wants
an over-the-back call just once. Got a 2-for-1 opportunity here, Tasmania.
So 6-point margin. It was out to 12 only a couple of minutes ago. Sword on the take. Can't finish. Good defense from Pepper. Sword keeps it alive. He spikes it to Clint Steindl.
Would have been assist of the year.
He tossed it back to the quarterback and Clint Steindl couldn't throw the touchdown. 2.5 seconds between the shot and the game clock. Pepper. We know he's got some spicy moves. He gives that one up. Henschel now has it poked away. And Tassie with a couple of big defensive plays. Doyle's not a million miles off it at 3/4 time. And as it was at halftime, it's a 6-point ball game with a quarter to go. A thrilling finish coming up here in Tassie. The Cats 53, the Jackies 47. Stay with us. Quarter to go in Tassie, 6-point margin. It is the Wildcats 53 to the hosts 47. Majuk Deng with a big dunk in that third term as Tassie are able to rumble their way back into the contest. And we have got a ball game on our hands with a quarter to go. Joel Peterson, Pete Hawley, Leonard Copeland, NBL champions alongside myself. Kelsey Brown is courtside, and it is a 6-point spread with one to be written into the books here at My State Bank Arena. Can the Wildcats start off the right way on the offensive end? Pinder comes up empty from outside.
Well, that was a good looking shot. Great play. Everyone touched the ball, went from side to side, and got a wide open three.
Kepper, Pinder, Harris, Cotton, Doolittle, the 5 for the Cats inside. Doyle's pass is broken up.
That's what I love about Hiram Harris. No easy buckets. He's gonna put his body on the line. Make Majuk Deng earn them at the free throw line.
So Majuk Deng at the free throw line. Cal's courtside. It was a pretty impassioned John Rillie at three-quarter time.
He was, but he made sure that he went up to Bryce Cotton, gave him a compliment to begin with and said, "You're doing a great job," he said, but it's the control and the defensive end that we need to get. That's their issue at the moment.
It was noticeable. He ended that huddle, John Rillie, just by saying, "It's this end," referencing the defensive end of the floor. That was the final message he left his team with heading into this final quarter.
And they've done a fantastic job on this end.
Milton Doyle has it taken away, or takes it away, in fact. And Sword loses the handle. So 5-point ball game. Quite the change from some of the offensive showcases we've seen across the course of round 3 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. This is an old-fashioned defensive slugfest. Pepper loses it out of court.
And that's 2 turnovers in a row for Pepper. And I think John's impressed.
I just feel like the way this game's panned out and the struggles in the first 3 quarters for Milton Doyle, he's going to have his say with how this game ends in the 4th.
Generally does at some point, doesn't he?
They put a bigger body on him.
Doolittle's got that assignment at the moment. Sword on Pinder. Doyle sides through, tries to create some space, fires and hits.
There he goes. Right on cue.
Some players in the league, doesn't matter how much they've struggled in the first 30 minutes, you just know when the game's on their line, they're going to rise to their best. Good start here in the 4th for Doyle.
That's exactly what he does.
Especially when you're not worried about your shooting percentage.
Pepper from the corner. Can't find the answer. And Deng's able to secure it. Tassie have not led in the ball game. It's been the Wildcats' way throughout. Two-point spread, 8 minutes to go. Thrilling finish to round 3 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Doolittle curling his way inside. Terrific finish.
Just so calm and poised and plays the game the right way, man. Not out there to showboat, not worried about his points, just takes advantage of what you give him.
Doyle sizing up Doolittle, calls for the screen from Tarangi. Deng fires away, but can't hit. Who can take their chances down the stretch? Cotton sees the window of opportunity. Hiram Harris comes up with it. Back to Bryce.
Oh. 1 of 7 now from 3 for Bryce Cotton. Here's the Amy replay. Doyle on cue. And in the face. A little bit slow. Jumping out on that switch was Elijah Pepper. Enough time for Doyle to rise up. You've got to give Tassie credit. Just the last 2 games now, they've got off to poor starts, and you just know that ever since they began in the NBL, they just always find a way to hang in tough on their defense.
Majuk Deng takes some contact. He'll go to the line.
Redfin, hit. 2.
Fouls on Henschel.
This is one of those games where you don't want either team to lose. They both have their struggles, but both doing what they need to do to try to get this win.
You can hear a pin drop as Majuk Deng drops in the first free throw. This Tassie crowd is up and about. The JackJumpers 2 points in arrears of the Wildcats at the Tangerine timeout. It's 53-55 with 6:55 remaining. So a bit to talk about for both coaches here, Copes.
Absolutely. And this is when you want to slow it down and make sure you get a good shot. Don't turn the ball over. Box out on the rebound. Take the open shot. You got to be smart. The smartest team will win this game.
And the team that can take advantage of their opportunities. 21 of 57, the Wildcats. 22 of 57, the JackJumpers. 5 of 21 from the field, the Jackies. 3 of 20, the Wildcats. The rebounding battle's gone the way of Perth, 37-30. Turnovers are even. And as you'd expect, the scoreboard pretty even as well with just a 2-point spread.
Bill Dawes had his struggles. But like Pete said, this is the time he rises up. This is when he gets a couple of shots to go down.
Going to play every second of this one out, these two teams. We know that much. Cotton weaving his way through. Wanted a call. He is irate at midcourt. Pinder has it stripped by Sword. Jackies with a chance to tie. Majuk Deng didn't see it coming.
Will was looking straight at him.
He was looking to set a down screen.
So giveaway for the Jackies, their 10th turnover of the match. Offensive foul.
That could be a
2 on Withers.
That's one you got to have a look at.
I had a quick look next to us and no indication of a challenge there. So let's play on. Tassie with a chance to tie it or take the lead.
Haven't led at any stage during the game.
That's an offensive foul.
Sword. Offensive foul.
Yeah, good call. You can see from here, and Ruben had a perfect angle of the hook. This one you're talking about, Copes. Keep an eye on Withers.
Yeah, he definitely dropped that shoulder.
An easy call, but then in the end, offensive foul on Craig Sword, and rip it all up and start again.
Tassie haven't led in the ball game. We haven't been tied since it was 0-0. Perth has had control throughout. Jackies making their run. Doolittle with a strong move. Deng with the defensive play.
I think that was Ruben Tarangi. Did well to just stay involved in the play. He got a piece of it. Tassie once again with a chance to tie or take the lead.
They're active. They've got hands in there everywhere at the moment, the JackJumpers. Speaking of hands in there everywhere.
Red 25. Hands foul.
Thank you. Yeah.
Get a good job, good timing, hung in the air long enough, but again, he's only able to get that block because of Majuk Deng. Majuk Deng made Doolittle second guess it.
Drimmick, Deng, Tarangi, Doyle and Sword. A little bit of contact underneath. That's the 5 for the JackJumpers. Doolittle, Henschel, Cotton, Pinder and Withers for Perth. 5:42 remaining. Sword just tosses it away. Somehow Drimmick keeps it alive.
Wow, what a save.
How they have excavated that, I'll never know. And then Doolittle puts it out into Montrose Bay.
Do not bring that in here, brother. No, sir.
What'd he say?
Do not bring it in here.
That was an impressive recovery. Milton Doyle rushed off the screen and Doolittle, give me that.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Deng needs to be quick, and he was! And we are tied up for the first time since 0-0. They trailed by as many as 14, the Jackies. Withers is offline. Pinder pulls it down with some force. Tosses it away. Sword inside. Deng and Drimmick's wrapped up.
Craig Sword has been phenomenal in this second half. He's brought a different level of intensity on both ends. He's only got 6 points, but he has been huge. And also that shot clock floater from Majuk Deng, the awareness to realise he's still got time to put the ball on the floor.
Good possessions like 77, second side. Just don't invent anything. Ball in front.
Well, Anthony Drimmick, he had his woes here shooting free throws last week. Copes.
He did.
He can give the Jackies the lead for the first time in the ball game.
Nothing like knocking down that first one.
To start this final term for Tassie. We are halfway through it. What have the Cats got in response? What can Perth muster? What can this man deliver? They are hyped, and John Riley's not liking it.
And you wonder if this is Scott Roth just rolling with a team that's getting them back in this game and giving them the lead. We haven't seen Will Magnay much in this second half. He's only got the 2 personals. He's got 11 rebounds. But the team that's been on the floor behind Majuk Deng, as we said, Craig Sword, Ruben Tarangi's been big. It's just hanging around doing enough. And you think maybe that's all it is.
So 57-55 at the Tangerine timeout. 4 minutes 44 remaining here in this final period. Both coaches get the opportunity to talk it over with their team. So John really seen the lead slip away from his team here. What do you think the focus would be for him at the moment in that huddle, coach?
They made a couple of mistakes down the line, and we spoke about this earlier. It's the smartest team that's going to win this game. You got to take care of the ball. You got to get good shots, and mistakes are hurting them.
Tassie, Milton Doyle's got 8 points on 3 of 14 shooting. He was really keeping them in it on Friday night, but it's been the supporting cast tonight, Pete. They've all got involved. And as you say, they've rolled with what's worked, and it's paying dividends.
Well, they've all got involved at different moments of the game, which is why they've managed to get back into it. It was Jordan Crawford in the second quarter who helped them get back to within 6 at halftime, and Craig Sword in the third quarter. And everyone else has kind of chipped in the first 5.5 here in the last.
So 4:40 remaining, 57-55 out of the timeout. Milton Doyle in attack mode. It's such a dangerous place to be as a defender.
And here he comes.
I've said it before, doesn't matter how poor the game is going individually for Milton Doyle. You can forget about all of that when it comes to the last 10 minutes.
So Milton Doyle to potentially hand Tassie a 5-point lead, having not led in the game to this stage. 13-2 out of three-quarter time. Kelsey Brown, what did John really have to say at the last timeout?
I cannot believe that just happened. Doolittle said to him, let me stay with Doyle, and then we see that happen. He basically begged him to let him have that matchup, and that's what Milton Doyle did.
Cotton trying to create something. Withers from outside. Fight for the loose ball. Pinder's come up with it.
Pick the ball up!
Keanu Pinder has been a monster on the glass.
Behave your folks, no more. You don't get to scream at me.
6 offensive rebounds for Pinder. Keanu Pinder has as many offensive rebounds as the entire Tasmania team.
He's coming out, and he's not happy.
Well, I think that's more of really matching the small ball of Tassie. Still no Will Magnay.
So Doolittle, Henschel, Cotton, Withers, Pepper, the 5 for Perth. Drimmick, Deng, Tarangi, Doyle and Sword, the 5 for Tassie. 5-point ball game. 13-2 in this final term so far for the JackJumpers. Bryce making his move, gives it up to Withers. We know Pepper can shoot it from this kind of range. He passes it up. Withers. Can't finish.
Craig Sword, that's his 5th rebound as well.
He's played some really important minutes.
3 steals, this is why they brought him in.
Withers is 2 for 8 from the three-point line. They're leaving him.
Doyle sizing up Cotton. Air ball, but it finds its way to Dang.
Listen to this crowd. And it takes a lot of guts. If you're Scott Rothkopes and your starring big man, Will Magno, who's been unbelievable to start the season, is the one who's on the bench to make way for the team that's getting it done. Majuk Deng's been terrific. You've got to make a decision. And he said, I'm sticking with what's working. And Majuk Deng is repaying that faith.
This has been spellbinding basketball in this final term from the hosts. They have turned a 6-point three-quarter time deficit into an 8-point lead. And in the first 6.5 minutes of this term, Perth has scored 2 points. In the same period, Tassie's got 16. Doolittle underneath for Pepper. That time a foul.
Well, you might have put the jinx on Craig Sword, Joel, because that's his 4th personal.
Green 3 hole. Good shot.
That's on Anthony Drimmick. My apologies. Craig Sword looked over to Scott Roth thinking,
it was a nervous look.
Well, he looked straight at Scott Roth through the sigh of relief.
So Elijah Pepper, first season as a Wildcat. He would have played in plenty of loud gyms with UC Davis. I'm not sure he's faced anything like this.
Wow. 10 of 16 from the stripe. That should be 2 points.
2. 1, you only gave him 1.
We play centre. I've got him for hitting the basket with the ball within. He doesn't touch me. We just checked, we're changing the status. I believe it stays with 1.
So they're going to have a look whether this is 1 point or 2.
Yeah.
One point. 1 point.
So the second goes for Pepper.
JR gave us a little update there. He gets an explanation that the ball has to be in the hoop for it to count as a 2-point goaltend, as an offensive rebound basically, so it'll just be 1 point.
Takeaway for Doolittle. Cotton swooping inside.
Right back in this thing.
5 points once more is the margin. 2:50 remaining. Strap in, folks. We're going all the way.
Oh.
What would you expect? Nothing less. Pepper with the steal. He stepped on the sideline. He wants a foul, and now he's teed up.
All he said was he grabbed me.
I think that's just been the magnitude of everything else. All the players have been told not to say anything anymore, and it was kind of just happened to be that Pepper was the next one. Didn't say anything at all.
No.
1.
What are you thinking?
I think you have to nip this kind of stuff in the bud early so they won't continue to do it. But if you let them do it all game, then it's tough to swallow a technical foul at the end of the game.
So what's the key for the Wildcats from here? Cope, Sauls?
Well, they need stops now. They find themselves down 6.
And good shots.
Milton Doyle's up to 12 points.
Tarangi underneath. Great defense from Pepper. Stays with Tassie. This is where Milton Doyle excels. Low clock, high stakes. The man of the moment for Tassie. Not this occasion. Just can't find what he needed. Pepper at the other end. Goes right at Doyle.
Oh.
Thinking about getting Counter Pinder back in the game, potentially. Got 7 points, 14 rebounds, 7 of them offensively. He was creating extra opportunities.
That's exactly right.
Here's Doyle again. Likes the matchup with Harris. Puts it on the floor. Spins inside. Sword does his best to keep it alive. Pepper and Deng jostle for it. And Another offensive rebound in the late game situation for Tassie. Doyle for three.
You've got to get Carter Pinder in this game.
Got to get Pinder in the game.
He's been the main rebounder.
Here comes Milton once more. Gee, you give them so many chances. It's such a surprise they've gone begging. Pepper thought about it. Henschel inside. Doolittle, it's poked away by Sword. Drimic, no.
What is this game?
This is frenetic.
Oh, goodness.
You should have a look at it, but I got no play on the ball.
Up and back. Big plays everywhere. No one can buy a bucket.
You hear Ken Widgeon here. He's saying there's no play on the ball, and he's happy to give it unsportsmanlike, and that's what we've been given here.
Green 32 unsportsmanlike 2 shots.
Straight away, he said it. He brought in Ruben and said, I've got no play on the ball. I'm okay with an unsportsmanlike. They had a quick check. That's big in this situation. You've got a 6-point lead. We've just had about a minute of crazy basketball.
But from John, I'm getting my rebounder back in there to go to the glass and get those offensive rebounds on a miss. You need more opportunity right now.
They gave up 3-0 boards in the last couple of minutes themselves as well.
Doolittle, Henschel, Cotton, Hiram, Harris, Elijah Pepper is the 5 for the Wildcats. Henschel, big shot. Foul underneath, going against Harris.
Third. Tassie will walk down the other end and shoot some free throws where Majuk Deng, 4 of 5. He's been exceptional off the bench once more.
Hey, next play, fellas. Here we go. We got 2 shots.
Dude, you're the 5. On the run. On the run.
So you go back to 2017-18, the last time the Wildcats scored this few points in a game. There's still time to go. Tassie's lowest winning score in its history is 66. 65 with a Majuk Deng free throw to come.
When you're on the road in an environment like this where it's so loud, every little mistake, every possession is magnified. Those 3-0 boards in a row.
Big opportunity here for the Wildcats. Doolittle puts it on the floor, bashes his way inside and scores.
That is big.
Massive bucket from Christian Doolittle.
He's quietly gone about his business as well. Christian Doolittle, 9 boards, 8 points. The Wildcats assistant coaches, I think they were saying if there was a miss, they were going to try and double team. Now, they're just going to play it straight up.
Yeah, no foul, just play it straight up. Get a stop.
That's why Scott Roth put Clint Steiner in the game, in case for some shooting.
Doolittle hasn't attempted a free throw tonight. Perth is 13 at 19 at the line. This to make it a 2-point game. Only inches in it, and Pepper scores!
I'm going to check it. I'm going to check it.
Miss that.
Pepper goes up and in.
3-1. Hit. 1 shot.
Elijah Pepper.
I just want to check the score real quick. Okay, we got people who will look at it. Should Perth have 64? Is 62 okay? Just want to double check the score. Yep, we're going to fix it, John. We're going to fix it.
Yeah, I think we're going to the line to tie it up.
Yes, they are. And here comes Magnay.
Here comes the first time we'll see Will Magnay in this 4th quarter.
Yeah.
So it is 65-64.
Yeah, just fixed it here in the arena.
65-64. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
41 seconds remaining. And the youngster Elijah Pepper.
You're Tassie. You've got a chance for a 2-for-1, which is crucial with the game on the line like this.
I know. I think I might have got Pinder back in there because of Magnay.
He misses.
Oh, they're going to
Who's
get
it off?
The ball back.
It's a Perth ball.
That's Scott Roth put his arms out because you put your main big man in and he can't come up with that, which gives Perth a chance to take the lead.
Another layer of intrigue added to this one. Cotton from the baseline. What can he find? Doolittle for the lead. It goes!
He is tough.
He's been awesome. The word poise is spot on, Copes. Never looks rattled.
The go-ahead bucket for Christian Doolittle. And now the man who so often has all the answers for Tassie. Doyle for three. Massive!
He's another tough one. We got a game, folks.
Oh, here we go.
Absolutely enthralling.
I double this. Get the ball out of his hands.
Where would you rather be? And what would you rather be watching? Bryce Cotton. Harris underneath. Pepper! Oh! Elijah Pepper! That is off the Scoville scale!
Wow!
Give the credit to Hiram Harris again on the O boards. And Elijah Pepper knew that they were going to cover Bryce Cotton, and he just stepped into it and silenced My State Bank Arena for now.
All kinds of hot sauce from Elijah Pepper.
Oh my, have a look at this. Just stepped into it with the ultimate confidence.
After missing a free throw, you gotta have confidence to take that shot. And Cotton standing right next to you.
This place is stunned.
Oh my goodness.
But there's plenty of time left.
Yes, sir.
23 years old, first pro season. Just to step into that and lace it.
What a great game hoop this
That's
has
right,
been.
though. It ain't over yet. We still got 5.8 seconds to go. And plenty of showtime coming up.
Is there any question about who this last possession goes
No, I
to?
think the question's going to be whether Perth are going to do the Bryce Cotton treatment in reverse of run a couple players at Milton Doyle and let someone else shoot it. Otherwise, you just trust your best defenders. If it's Doolittle, whether it's Withers, say 1-on-1, I need you to come up with a stop. What would you do?
I'm doubling Doyle because he just knocked the three down. And I'm making Magne or Ding beat me.
69-68. Wildcats have led basically the whole game. Tassie snatched it late. 5.8 seconds remaining. Steindl looks to get it in. Loose ball.
Look at My State Tassie ball.
Where's it going to go?
Jump ball, replay center quickly. We are going to go one complete step. If he goes there, he comes back, he hasn't moved.
They're going to look at this.
Both assistant coaches having a look.
Well, the refs didn't know who it was off, so they called it jump ball.
1.4 comes off the clock.
Well, if this is...
What about that defense from Perth?
Crawford, Deng, Magne, Doyle, Steindl the 5 for Tassie, Doolittle, Cotton, Hiram Harris, Pinder and Withers.
Might have been those ones where you know that Perth know the ball's trying to go to Milton Doyle. You got 5.8 seconds at the time. You can have him inbound it and quickly get it back. It stops them trying to double team the inbounds. One timeout left for Tassie, one timeout left for Perth. They're having a real close look at this. Understandably so.
No worries. Fellas, we're reviewing the out of bounds. Take that one off. They're looking at every angle to make sure they get it right.
And all Scott Roth can do is watch on. John really paces the sideline in front of us. Let's have a look.
Well, they said it's extremely close, yeah. So they're slowing it right down and zooming in on every angle.
First look maybe off Pinder as he falls to the floor with his left hand, or maybe the knee.
Maybe it's Doyle. Oh, it's tough.
Doyle.
This is where the replay center, all the angles, they get to stop frame by frame.
Oh, that could
that's
be Doyle.
close. That could be.
That could be Doyle.
Looks like it doesn't hit the leg of Pinder on the way through.
Well, they're set up as though it's Tassie ball, but I think that's just the players not understanding. It's going to be Perth ball.
That's right.
It looked like it.
And if there couldn't be any more drama baked into this one, on a Sunday night in Tassie, it's a Perth ball out of the Tangerine timeout. 69-68. Wildcats out. Both of these two teams run off the floor on Friday night. And what an epic they've produced in response.
It's not always prettiest, but it's coming to an absolute cracker. There's still, I think, another chapter to be written. So Perth will advance this. Maybe, to be honest, maybe you wouldn't take the advancing so that you can have a whole backcourt to play with.
So 68-69, last game of round 3, of course. See our Mitsubishi three-point leaders there. Bryce Cotton among them. Rob Edwards has been outstanding. Chris Golding's found his shot. Hendrick Davis, terrific last night as well.
How good was he?
They're all red hot as we wrap up round 3 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Of course, Perth in action on Thursday night against Cairns. Massive game up north, and Adelaide and Sydney on Friday night to kick off round 4. Wagstaff in for this final possession.
So they are going to advance the ball. Got all their free throw shooters in, and no surprise that Craig Sword will come in as well.
5.1 on the clock. A little bit of time added. 69-68. Wildcats have led at every change. Cotton's held. Henschel is fouled.
Good 3 throws here for Ben Henschel. Hasn't gone to the line.
Hold, 2 shots.
Has not gone to the line tonight. Tassie still have a timeout.
Let me tell you something. I don't care how confident you are. This is nerve-wracking.
Wildcats have left 8 points at the line already. In this game, 13 of 21.
So the 20-year-old Ben Henschel, second year with the Wildcats. Perth native. When Danny Mills signed him, he said he's got the potential to be the face of the franchise in years to come. He's got so many tools. Does he have the metal? Does he have the steel in this moment?
Nothing but the bottom of the net.
He's 3 of 3 on the season from the stripe.
All calm and collected here.
2-point margin, 4.2 remaining. Ben Henschel, cold as ice.
That's big. That is big.
Now they need one more good defensive possession like the last one.
That's confident for the young fella.
Well, this is one where you think there's going to be a lot of eyes on Milton Doyle. If you're Clint Steindl, have your feet set. Lujuk Deng, have your feet set.
They need a 3. At one point they were 0 of 10 tonight. They're 6 of 25 now, 4 of 26 the Wildcats. Milton Doyle's 3 of 12. Jordan Crawford's 2 of 5 from outside. Clint Steindl is 1 of 4. No other Tassie player has hit a 3-pointer tonight. And it all comes down to this.
10 of 51 from both teams. That's not great shooting, Joel.
That is not great shooting, coach. That is an understatement. So Deng's out there with Doyle, Magnay, Steindl and Crawford out of the timeout.
Normally, on a play like this, you want to keep an eye on the inbounder. Still plenty of time.
You imagine Perth would switch everything on this. Don't foul on the shot.
Withers, Doolittle, Hiram Harris, Keanu Pinder and Bryce Cotton is the 5 for John Riley and Perth.
4 seconds is an eternity.
4.2 remaining. Plenty of time. 3-point spread. Where does Steindl go? He gets it to Doyle. Can Milton make some magic? Milton Doyle waves his wand and conjures up overtime.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, that man is so cold.
I got goosebumps. Amazing shot. Wow. We got 5 more minutes, fellas. Nothing but net.
Oh, this man is just as clutch as they come. It's been one of those nights.
They couldn't buy one, Pete.
Doesn't matter. Game on the line. You don't want it in anyone else's hands.
And he just said, don't worry, I got you.
A silent assassin at his best.
Everybody calm down, I got you.
Every single cent of that man.
And the arena erupted. I think everyone sitting down jumped up in their chairs, including us.
Oh, that was so fun. That last 30 seconds was so fun to watch. best part about that is we all forget the first quarter.
Yes, sir.
And we've got free basketball. Overtime between the Jackies and the Wildcats to close out round 3 in the Hungry Jacks NBL in what's been a bruising, physical, frenetic encounter. We've got 5 more minutes at least to decide who will improve to 500 and which of these two teams will start the season 1-3.
Well, Joel, I got a flight to catch, so let's just try to get this thing over with now. Eh? Please.
I feel like if we go all the distance, Copes, it'll be worth a night in this part of the world. 32 seconds remaining. 71 points apiece. John really asking how far Clint Steindl ran along the sideline on the inbounds.
I thought that on the initial replay, we get caught up in obviously the knockdown from Milton Doyle.
So here's a look. Milton Doyle rising up and rising to the moment.
Never looked like missing.
Let's check in courtside at the start of overtime with Kelsey Brown.
Aside from some sets that they want to get through, Scott Roth had a very simple message. He said, I'm not sure you deserve what you're getting right now, but it's time to show us that you do.
How's your heart rate, Kels?
There's also a little bit of ammunition for why you should foul up 3 as well.
Steindl now. Can't pick off where Milton Doyle left it. So 71 apiece. Doyle's got 18. Cotton's got 22. Elijah Pepper with the big bucket late. Doolittle's been terrific. Pinder's been a force on the glass.
Oh, he's been awesome.
Just so strong. Gets to his spot, takes the shot.
Magnay for Crawford. Why not give it back to this man? Swatted by Doolittle. Back to Doyle, foot on the line. Magnay offensive rebound. Crawford, no hesitation.
Now, this is the worry here for Keanu Pinder. We know he's got the mask on and he's down holding his nose.
Red ball ready for them.
Just regaining his composure. He's Keanu Pinder. Ross Cotton comes over to check on the welfare of his star teammate.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, he got a head from the Juk Dang.
Still just sitting on the court. This Keanu Pinder right at the free throw line. At this end of the floor, just regaining his composure. We know that he had the orbital fracture a couple of years ago. He's had,
I think it's the mouth or blood coming
injury
from
issues since, and the mouth, or the blood coming from maybe the mouth or the nose. Looks like it might be the mouth. He is gesturing to the nose as he comes past us. So we certainly hope that he's okay. Ty Webster coming over to check on him as well. Ty Webster just walked straight past him. Didn't look overly concerned.
So you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it, big fella.
He's made of tough stuff.
Tell you what, Joel, just have a look at the actual replay. We couldn't see where we were sitting from that Milton Doyle 3. Clint Steindl ran up and down the sideline.
Yeah, and that's what really's been asking them.
Have another look here from Clint Steindl. They got away with one there.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
You can't do that.
He went the length of the Bunnings Warehouse logo.
Absolutely he did.
Yeah. And really came over.
He was all over it. He was all over it in the moment too. But we saw another replay of it on the big screen. And all of a sudden, I think all the crowd here was like, oh, we've dodged that one. But anyway, let's play 5 more.
You need to be on the court, please.
Take them when you can get them for the home team. Joel Peterson, Leonard Copeland, Pete Hawley with you. Great to have you with us. Sunday doubleheader to close out round 3 in the Hungry Jacks NBL, and what a way to close it out here at My State Bank Arena. 8 seconds here for Cotton. He sees a double. Doolittle stepping back, feet set. Crawford, Steindl, Doyle, Magnay, Deng out there for the Jackies. Henschel, Harris, Doolittle, Cotton and Pepper is the 5 for John Rillie and the Wildcats. Magnay's lob inside, deflected.
That was forced, that wasn't there.
Bryce Cotton knows there's only so much time to work with. He's in no hurry. He assesses things. He gets inside. He can't finish in trademark style. Doolittle rips it down and gets the call.
How good has he been?
I know.
Green.
Double-double.
Hits him on the arm. 2 shots.
12 points, 11 rebounds.
And just the things he's doing, though. He's getting guys involved. He's setting good screens.
2 blocks, 1 steal.
Playing great defense.
This is why they were so high on getting him back as soon as possible, because he is the ultimate competitor. All those little winning plays.
Like defensive player of the year last season. Spent the off-season over in Puerto Rico again. So too did Milton Doyle, playing against each other in that part of the world. And he makes it a 4-point margin the way of the Wildcats. They've scored the first 4, the only 4 of the overtime period.
Let him move, let him move.
Magnay, 8 on the clock. Goes straight into the chest of Doolittle. Strong finish, Will Magnay.
Good finish.
Look at the size. He's so much bigger than everyone else. Great move.
Double-double now for Will Magnay. 11 points, 12 rebounds.
Rails only Pinder in the rebounding count. Pinder's got 14, 7 of each offensive and defensive. Doolittle putting it on the floor, rising up over Deng. Steindl with the rebound for Tassie, who can tie it up here once more. Again, they go into Magnay on the block. Deng flings it to Crawford. Jordan Crawford ties it up.
He's so quick off that dribble.
75 apiece. Cotton for Harris. Beautiful feed to Pepper.
Great pass, great play.
The role players from the Wildcats have been outstanding in this game. Hiram Harris in his minutes. Even that, as we said before, in about the 3rd quarter, no easy buckets around Hiram Harris. He's going to make you earn them.
That's a good foul, too.
Red 13
Send him to the free throw line.
So Will Magnay is at the stripe. 55% from here last season.
Oh. That thing hit everything.
You only get that one in your own backyard, coach.
What was that? Went in, though.
Might have been wind assisted. Second one's a little bit more conventional. 2 again, tie us away at 77. All square with 1.5 minutes remaining. No change to the lineups. Doolittle for Cotton. Tried to kiss it high off the window. Harrison game 100. He can't get it to go. And Magnay pulls it down.
Could have dropped that one off.
I know. 4 offensive rebounds for Harris. He's been enormous in the second half of this overtime period.
He set the tone. He was the spark plug for them last season in turning their season around. Doyle off to Magnay. Steindl at the elbow. A little bit short. Henschel the rebound under 1 minute remaining.
Johnny wants him to run.
He wants him to push the pace because you let Tassie set up. They're very good in the half-court defense.
Cotton to Sessi. Doyle gets to a good spot. Not quite strong enough. Foul underneath.
the ground. We're on the ground. Next play, fellas. Next play. It's red ball on the lead. Red ball.
Both coaches running with these lineups. Crawford, Deng, Magnay, Doyle, Steindl for the Jackies, Doolittle, Henschel, Cotton, Harris, Pepper for the Wildcats.
10 players look out on their feet.
4 fouls for Crawford, 4 fouls for Harris. Cotton's got 22. Doolittle 14, Elijah Pepper 10, including the game-tying through the go-ahead 3 late. Hilton Doyle tied it up to send us to overtime. We're tied at 77. And Bryce Cotton can't get things happening. Chance for the Jackies to go ahead. Majuk Deng! Got it!
Nothing but net.
We said it all game long. You just cannot let this JackJumpers team hang around.
Still plenty of time left, LP.
Majuk Deng lifts the lid on My State Bank Arena. And with 25.2, it's advantage JackJumpers.
Spot on, coach. There is an eternity left in this one. You don't have to force a 3. Good defense from Will Magnay to stay straight up. And right here, this is what John really wanted from the Wildcats. Defense isn't set. Push it. We'll have an advantage. They don't get back in time. Everybody's tired. Majuk Deng rises up. That is exactly what John really wanted, the possession before.
Scott Roth flooring his charges. John really doing the same. Todd Withers coming in now for the Wildcats. He helps them space the floor on this end. So it's Doolittle, Henschel, Cotton, Withers, Pepper. Withers the replacement player. Doolittle needs to get it in. Withers goes to the ground. And Christian Doolittle didn't get it in time. Todd Withers can't believe it.
Oh, they probably got longer than 5 seconds, but there was contact everywhere.
Both grabbing each other.
Michael Allen saying both grabbing each other. I think because of that, they gave him probably an extra second to inbound it.
Hey, can't cross the line. Can't cross the line.
Tassie with the ball. 2-second difference, shot and game clock. 3-point lead to the JackJumpers, who trailed at every stage before sending it to the extra period. Cotton fouls Doyle. Side out.
Oh, look at this play.
Looks like a kickoff return in the NFL.
What's going on here?
They're going for the onside kick.
They might have all 3 break to the basket in different directions, and Jordan Crawford comes straight to the ball.
This is straight out of the playground. This is schoolyard stuff from Tassie. Withers gets the foul on Crawford.
Red 33 hold, now we shoot.
You hear Ken Widgeon, now we shoot.
We got 2 shots.
Jordan Crawford, who's 6 of 12 on the evening, 14 points. Has not attempted a free throw.
No timeouts left for Perth either. They've got to go quick.
And all of a sudden, John Riley and his team have got quite the task on their hands. Little fist pump from Jordan Crawford. Reinforcements for Tassie. Magnay into the game. Replaces the diminutive point guard who hands them a 5-point lead. So what have Perth got now? and it takes something really special. That's exactly what Bryce Cotton can deliver, though. Back to 3.
Way too easy for them. Way too easy. There's a turnover here, and you give them a chance.
We've seen it all so far. Henschel fouls Doyle.
Red 10. Hold 2 shots.
And Milton Doyle will just stroll in his customary calm and collected fashion all the way to the free throw line and line up a couple of foul shots to get it out to that 5-point margin again.
Had to work for it, but he's been big when his team needed it, Milton Doyle.
Rarely phased, never flustered, unflappable. He delivers at the stripe. Couple of seconds for the Wildcats. And Tasmania have delivered a memorable victory. It took 40 minutes and then some. They come from 14 down, trailing at the first 3 changes. Milton Doyle inspires them to overtime. And Tassie gets right at home, winning at 84-79 in a classic to round out round 3.
Didn't start pretty, but Mike, this is what the NBL does. It dishes up something incredible. We do feel for the Wildcats based on that was a big shot from Milton Doyle, but probably what should have been called. Sometimes you're on the right end, sometimes you're on the wrong end. And in the end, you still got to make the shot. They did that, and they were the better, more composed team in the overtime period.
Well, I said it before, this is one of those games where you don't want either one of the teams to lose because they both gave their all. What an amazing second half from Perth and what an amazing second half from Tasmania. So well done to the JackJumpers. Perth will live to fight another day.
Maybe not the spectacle we would expect in that kind of game, but they come in all kinds of ways. And for Tassie and Perth this afternoon, it was by any means necessary. And this home crowd is jubilant. The JackJumpers, 84-79. They moved to 2-2 on the season. The Wildcats 1-3. And they'll be on the plane to far north Queensland tomorrow for a Thursday night date with Cairns to kick off round 4 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. 84-79, the final score. Tassie with the win. Let's check in with Kelsey Brown.
I'm here with Bachuk Deng, an incredible performance by you and the team. The semi-final rematch, it really lived up to it. Is it good to get that win in front of this crowd?
Yeah, we needed it. We always say they're the 6th man, and we needed that to get us over the line.
You were impressive. You shot that match winner towards the end. Milton Doyle took it into overtime with that 3. Do you live for those big plays?
Oh, absolutely. We believe in one another. Hey, Milton's the best player in the league, and we all rely on him to make those big shots.
You heard it here first. Milton's the best player in the league, but I want to talk to you about grit and grind. You've said that's the mantra that JackJumpers play by. Do we see that tonight?
Exactly. That's what it is. That was an example of it tonight. We never stop playing. We believe in one another. We back each other. We play for the next person, and it just showed tonight.
And after the efforts of tonight, where do you think the JackJumpers can go this season?
I mean, we don't want to look too far ahead. It's one day at a time. We won today and trying to win tomorrow, and let's see where that takes us.
An incredible game by you. Well done on the win. Congrats.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely enthralling to close out a Sunday afternoon in round 3. Tassie win by 5. Back to break it down and decompress next. Tasmania. And what a finish from this man, Milton Doyle. Tassie could only muster 9 points in the opening frame. They trailed by 14. He had a rough old shooting night, Milton Doyle, 6 of 24. But when it mattered most, he was the man who came up with the goods. He finishes with 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And he was, in the biggest of moments, the man who had the answers.
That one right there.
That was huge. This to send it to overtime. He is the star of the Apple Isle, Milton Doyle. And that was an intriguing clash we saw on Sunday Hoops.
Had it all. Had it all. Had some poor basketball and then had some massive plays down the stretch. And I feel for Perth. I really do feel for Perth. That was probably, shouldn't have shot been allowed, but in the end, you can't come down to one play. They had their options.
Did we expect anything more from Milton Doyle, though? We
No.
talked about it before he even took the shot. This is his time, fourth quarter. He's been doing it since he's been here. And, yeah, started off ugly, but what a great finish.
What a great finish indeed. For those Tassie JackJumpers, they get to 2-2 on the season. The Perth Wildcats are 1-3. They've got a trip to Cairns. That kicks off round 4. Thursday night hoops in far north Queensland. The Snakes and the Wildcats. On behalf of myself, Joel Peterson, Pete Hawley, Leonard Copeland, Kelsey Brown, all of our team behind the scenes. What a Sunday. Thanks for your company.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.